Beside you here we have Roy Lillee, and Roy's a health consultant now. And Roy, in an ideal world, if we could all wave a magic wand, but we can't. So what are Janet, and it's heartbreaking to watch her there. You see how distressed she is. What she wants is to come home. That will cost a lot of money, but it will also cost a lot of money to keep her in care. What way do you analyse this situation?
Well, there's a lot to unravel here. I mean, Janet will have special needs in her care, which will be difficult to deliver in the home environment. It's not impossible. She'll need access ramps. She's in a wheelchair. The council house has the old building standards of door width, so all the doors will have to be made wider. She'll need a wet room. She'll need someone to sleep downstairs because a lift isn't practical. She'll need to transfer from a wheelchair to a bed. That means a hoist or another way of doing it.
Yes.
She'll need rising services. She'll need tissue viability.
But there may be an argument that says, in the long run, year after year, if you add that up for 5 years or 10 years, actually, whatever's spent may be money well spent because it'll save money in the long run.
Oh, I agree. I mean, finding a nursing home that deals with the special needs of brain-damaged patients, they're few and far between, and the placements are very expensive. So the investment in this property, I mean, to be very blunt about it, when the time comes, it's no longer needed. It could be passed on to somebody who did need it. So council housing stock is never wasted. The difficulty I think we've got here is the timescales and finding the money, because this will, I mean, you're talking well over 100,000 for the adaptations here, probably more. So the local authority will have to find a special budget to do that. There may be a medical balance between, is she better in a nursing home with 24-hour care, although the specialist has said because of her emotional needs, she will be better with her family. And we all get that. I mean, I don't know if you remember, there used to be an insurance company, didn't they, with an advert that says, don't make a drama out of a crisis. You know, this is bad enough. The welfare state is what we all pay our taxes for. We should get behind the family. I mean, it's possible.
You can understand that the hospital obviously need beds. So if they're saying that, look, Janet is ready to leave, to be discharged, they need that bed for somebody that you know, new patients coming in. Have they offered you anything in the interim period that if the council do get round to adapting your house, which they have, I mean, they're saying at the moment they're talking to you, they're in contact with the family, we're considering your request in detail for adaptations to the home. We appreciate that it is uncertain and uncomfortable time, and they're obviously discussing it, but that leaves your mum still with nowhere to go at the moment.
That's right. At the moment, I have a dialogue with the brain unit at Frenchy, and on a basis of Janet has got to the place now where she's levelled off as physical mobility. She's reached the limit where she's going to get. But I discussed the fact that maybe just a care-only plan where she could stay, but get the care. But obviously, the expensive stuff is your physiotherapy, etc., etc., your speech and language, and all the rest of it. That taken away would be a more reasonable price.
What we're getting here, whether it's with Charlie Gard, whether it's dealing with Janet's situation here, you've got the general public now wanting a more bespoke, caring service out there. Is that unrealistic?
On present funding, it is. I mean, you know, we have to go back to 2010. The NHS has had pretty much flatline funding since 2010. It's done better than social services. Social services have had budgets cut by 40%. You know, unless we make the decision that we're prepared to put more taxes in these services, we're going to have more cases like this. This is the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of cases where, at the end of the day, it comes down to funding.